Mike, you want to do the intro?
I did it last time.
All right. What episode is this?
Fuck.
You know what? I don't. It doesn't even matter.
No, it does.
It does matter. It does matter. Hold up. Everyone on standby. Mike's gonna give us what episode we're on. Oh.
15.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 15 of LeftBench, also known as the 15th installment of your favorite podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, your most inconsistent podcast.
Your most inconsistent podcast, but listen, dude, sports.
Sports. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys, you know me and Sam, Bo.
Apparently you know him.
Yeah,
Apparently you know him
you
now.
know who I am. You know who I am.
What's said don't gotta be understood.
Nah, man, it's Sam Gamboa here over here with the Left Bench guys.
Mm-hmm.
You see it. I'm about to give my takes, and we're gonna start off pretty spicy.
We're gonna start off pretty spicy, then we'll chill out towards the end
Yeah.
because you know Sam.
Yeah, you know how I become with the energy.
Obviously, a lot has happened since the last episode. If
Some
you look
grieving.
back, it's like moments before disaster. I'm just so happy. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm the Pacers. This is so big. And then within the last 2 weeks, I've had maybe my worst, definitely two of my top 5 worst sports fan experiences of all time.
Yeah.
But, I'm proud of my boys. They took the Rockets, too soon. Took the Thunder to the Game 7.
Too soon, what?
Took the Thunder to Game 7. And just ouch, man. But anyway, Mike, how you been?
I'm good. Just chilling. Just watching the trade deadline. Or not trade deadline. Free agency go by a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You
Excited for the next season.
You got a lot of positive
I got
to
some
report
shit,
on.
yeah.
You got some happy, which I had more happiness during the playoffs. So it's a little trade off. We can't be happy at the same time. That's weird. That'd be weird for the pod.
Yeah. See, like you want your college football team win the natty.
Yeah.
My basketball team win the natty.
Yeah.
It's just
It's got to switch off. It can't be. We can't both be happy. That'd just be bad content.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, and that's life. Not everyone can be happy.
Probably how
You
football's gonna go too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Maybe.
Fuck.
Actually, I
Wait, you're a Ohio
We're-
State fan?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not too into college football in the
Yeah,
first
okay.
place. Like I was
I
by
just never knew
default.
that.
Yeah, it's because I don't really watch college football like that. Like if I had to choose, like I used to be big in like middle school.
That's why I wasn't like saying he's a big fan. Right?
Yeah.
When people be asking me my favorite college team, I'll be like, I
Who
don't
even-
have one.
Yeah, who is yours?
Dude.
What if I had a gun to your head?
All right, people's
Shit.
gonna
Yeah.
hate me for this, but this is when I actually started watching college football.
We're already off the rails.
Yeah, dude, off the rails.
I'm sorry.
I like this though.
But I like Alabama. I'm not gonna lie. But the only reason I like them is because the first time I watched them was because I'm not a college football guy either. Like I'm just not like I'm more of a. If you guys ask me more about the Colts, I would know. Like I would know that, but college football, even though it's more intense, I just don't mess with it like
I
that.
love it.
Oh yeah, Sam, give your favorite sports teams to them because I feel like they know about us, our favorite sports teams.
Okay.
Well, last time we had a guest, we had Anthony argue about the Warriors. So, plant your flags real quick.
Okay, so NBA team. I'm a Miami Heat fan. Always been a Miami Heat fan since. Like I said, you guys are gonna hate me for this one too, but I've been a Miami Heat fan since, LeBron. But if you ask me a whole bunch of facts about the Heat, I'll know.
And also we were 9 when that
Yeah,
I
happened.
can't
so.
even say I can't say anything. Mine's just because of James Harden. So
It's just
Yeah.
people always throw that in my face. They're like, "Oh, you liked him since LeBron was on there." Like,
bitch, I was 8 years old.
sorry,
Yeah,
bro.
and
That's when
also-
I first got into
Also,
basketball.
I'm the person that mainly does that, but
Yeah.
But that's my favorite NBA team, my favorite NFL team. I'm an Indianapolis Colts man. You know it, big horseshoe. You feel me? We in there. And baseball team. Since Cincinnati was like my second home, I like the Cincinnati Reds. I just started getting into baseball not too long ago too.
hey, Mike, I'm getting into hockey this year for real. We're
We're getting to
gonna.
baseball. How about that?
No, I want to do hockey.
Okay.
I'll get
Um,
into baseball with you. I need to learn more about
My
it.
favorite
I'm getting into
sport.
hockey this year, so I'm a St. Louis Blues fan.
Maybe we
Blues
can catch
fan.
some like Reds games or something.
St. Louis Blues
Could be
fan.
worse. So I'm not
And then you like the Islanders?
yes.
All right, we're gonna plant our flag on NHL this year.
My flag's been planted. For
I mean, like plant our
Actually watch.
Yeah, we're gonna actually watch. We're gonna set our dominance on them. We're gonna corner the market essentially.
The Islanders had the first pick this year in the draft.
Really?
We did, yeah.
Wimby.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's white and Canadian, yeah.
So yeah, same shit.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, let's actually get into the NBA. Let's go over the finals.
Okay.
That we had.
Yeah. First thing, I feel like I should start it for the finals because
in remembrance.
In remembrance. Listen, I want to say first off, extremely. This Pacers playoff run. This is I've said it on the podcast before. This is my favorite team of all time. I'm so happy. Like, this is best case scenario, obviously, until the very end. But like, this whole team has just been. It's really just been inspiring. Brought my love to the game of basketball to a whole new way. This was my favorite team of all time. Playoffs were ridiculous. I didn't think we were going to beat the Knicks. I truly didn't. And then we did. And then I thought we were going to get swept by the Thunder, and then we took them to 7. I think Halliburton is legitimately, I don't care, like the superstar conversation. He is, like, especially you saw after he went down, like, we just fell apart. Like, Siakam is such an important player.
I had so many arguments with people about Halliburton, how they said, like, there were so many friends of mine that said that Halliburton wasn't like that.
Yeah, I hated that.
That was crazy because
while he was just beating everyone's like, he ain't like that though.
That's bro. Like,
I hated that.
Clutch moments, taking it to bro. Like,
yeah, I mean he's a Steve Nash type of guy.
Not turning the ball over at all, just letting his teammates work.
Yeah. I mean, like, you just watch it. I mean, like. And not to just throw punches right away, but like you watch teams try to do like the same thing with Trae Young, and they just can't. Like, it's just like Halliburton's like that. That being said, so before this, I said my worst sports moment. Like, my worst sports moment was when Andrew Luck retired. Game 7, Halliburton's Achilles is now my number one worst sports moment of all time. Like, that's like heart sinking into the stomach.
I'm just gonna say this off the bat. Those first couple of minutes of that game,
I thought we were winning.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit,
2 back-to-back threes. He was literally passing it really good. And the craziest thing is when people say that he's not a superstar, it started with him. Though.
Yeah.
He started with, like, when people try to put, like, no shots started at Pascal. Pascal Siakam is he's nice. Don't get me wrong. But Halliburton is
Pascal's the perfect second guy.
Yeah, perfect second guy.
He almost has 2 finals as the second guy because he was the second best player on that Kawhi team.
But with Halliburton though, like with him starting like just that offense, like he was just the break on that, bro.
Yeah.
And, like when people be saying like, nah, Halliburton's not like that, he's trash. I'm like, bro, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, when his Achilles like just popped, I was like, dude, this is just it ripped my heart out. I'm not even a Pacers fan. I was like, dude, this we were set up for a very like unexpected and very just fun game set.
It was supposed to be a perfect story, and it was so sad. And even when we were up 1 at half, I was literally just like, I'm sorry, like this just isn't happening. That being said, with like all the negativity, congratulations to the Thunder. I was so pissed at the moment, but it's like, dude, they're so good. Like, they are a very, very good team. And I think, honestly, I know that they beat the Nuggets in 7, which is like a real test. I think passing the Pacers buzzsaw test, because I'm not saying like pound for pound the Pacers are like the best team in the NBA. Like, but like if you can like adjust, like the Pacers make every team play differently, play weird, and the fact that the Thunder were able to play with it, like you saw the Knicks just fall apart. Yeah. Like whenever like we were just like, yeah, but okay, but play this way. The Thunder, at moments they got punched in the mouth. Like you just saw like Jalen Williams in every every interview, he's like, yeah, like just stay calm, all this shit. Like they were surprisingly very mature about it. Like to where most teams just fall apart when they play the Pacers.
For being a young team too. For being a young squad, that also takes a lot of takes a lot because I know they got some vets on the Thunder like Caruso been in them situations before too though. But the way them young guys was looking too, they still kept it up with the Pacers, and I gotta give it to them too, man. Like SGA, J-Dub, Chet, all those guys deserved it. So,
Game 7, the Halliburton injury will be seen as a huge what if, though.
Yes, absolutely.
I understand that. My annoyance, though, is part of the narrative now that we always. I don't know why it's every championship year. It's always like, oh, but this team was hurt.
It's gonna happen every.
It's really starting to get really annoying.
Until we shorten the season, which I want to talk about later, which needs to be done. In my opinion,
injuries is part of the game. and also feel like part of the game is like learning how to adjust with injuries,
Yeah.
even with star players getting out. Like, you know, I hear the same exact talks that you do, that you do, like literally talking about what if with the Bucks, and I'm like, dude, in the past 2 years, it's like it's been the same thing. Injuries is just part of the game. Like, you gotta learn how to adjust. It's just just how it goes.
And my thing is, like, with this team specifically, it's like the Thunder were the best team in the league the whole season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They were probably going to win that series regardless. I mean, the fact it went to Game 7 does make you think a little more because, like, Hallie was a big part of that, obviously.
Yeah, I think that man busted out.
Yeah.
Like 2
Pause.
back-to-back threes. Yeah, no Diddy, sorry.
But you got to think, like, at the same time, this is, like, the best defense of our era that we've...
For
in
sure.
our
Yeah.
lifetimes, maybe even, and they just had the star power over the Pacers. We'll never know what happens in that game with a full, healthy Pacers. But at the same time, it's like, this is part of the game. So
That being said, congrats Thunder. Congrats Pacers, honestly. Like, should never have been there, and they did. They believed. Also put a lot of hope for a lot of teams in the East, and also just mid-level teams. They're just like, can we get hot? Like
small market teams.
Hey, can we just
on both sides,
Yeah, can we
absolutely.
like you see like the Magic make that Desmond move, which we'll talk about. It's just like can we just get hot for a little bit? And like it just gave the Hawks. I think the Hawks don't do what they do if the Pacers lose in the first round. So it's very interesting to see a banger of a finals that just ended in a disappointing way.
Yeah.
Thunder are the champions. They could be on a run for a while now, which we'll talk about.
So, yeah.
Anyway, now you guys want to get into the off season?
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Big Mike, I think you should start off the off season because you guys have had a very successful one. And then get into a specific move.
Yeah. So, as you may know now, I am a Rockets fan, and they are deemed widely deemed as like probably the winner of this offseason.
Yeah, Chicago Bears Part 2.
Yeah.
You guys are like the Chicago
We're gonna go
Bears.
6-10 next year.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, but yeah.
Oh wow.
They came out guns blazing, pretty much. Not even the finals weren't even over yet, and traded for KD, which. Well, it's sad for me, I watched Jalen Green for 4 years, and I was hoping he'd get there.
That's your worst quality is that you gave up on. I mean that you were in an abusive relationship with Jalen. I tried to talk you out of that so many times.
But anyway,
I don't think he's good.
But anyway, it is sad for that. I will miss Dylan Brooks a little bit. He's a fun. He's a good vet for this team the last 2 years. But getting a bona fide Hall of Famer, first ballot guy, that's probably gonna.
And you guys didn't really lose nothing. I remember talking to you about this a while back, but I remember saying with Brooks out, y'all's defense is kind of falling a little bit. But you said something about how you guys still got Thompson, you guys still got Şengün and stuff, which that's also good. That's something I did not think about at all because you guys still got them young guys that can really play good.
Tari,
Tari, all them
Jabari,
Jabari and all them. Yeah, you guys got some key pieces. I think the Rockets are definitely gonna be a team to look out for because they did make the playoffs and with KD playing with Şengün and Thompson, I think that's going to be something great for him. I think they're going to play really well. It's going to be a great season to look forward to.
Yeah, and then they immediately went out and just replaced Dylan Brooks with DFS.
Yeah.
It's honestly probably a better version.
And cheaper,
better version.
maybe a little bit less offense.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and but also
I ain't gonna lie, Dylan Brooks.
both of their defenses, DFS and Brooks, both their defenses fallen off a little bit, but it's not like
But Dylan Brooks' issue was him trying to carry the game too much.
Yeah,
I'm saying fit for the team.
Yeah,
by far.
But Sasha Lexington from Brooks, man, it'd be okay, you come down the court, you shoot this one,
He a freak bull,
and then he's heat check. And
you need a freak bull on your team.
Top of the backboard.
There was one time where it worked, and it was the game against the Celtics when he had 30. He had 10 threes, and we were like, okay, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
And then he kept doing it, and it's okay,
He a
you're not
freak
making
bull.
him. Yeah.
That's what it was like with the Grizzlies too. It's you never know if he's just gonna save the team or end the team.
He's the end all be all.
He is. Yeah, it's very interesting.
So, but it was it was fun. It was a good ride with him for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was fun, but
And then that one thing that I think you guys are uniquely positioned to do is you guys now have an opportunity, if you guys start off poorly, to make a trade deadline trade now because you kept enough assets. You guys really everyone's like, oh, the Suns didn't get the Suns were in a horrible position, and like
They had no
one like they were cornered, and
They're
I think
honestly lucky they got what they got.
yeah, I think the Rockets was the best deal because like okay, you think about it post draft, you know, like obviously it's not a good trade, but if you're like okay, so Malawach, Jalen Green, who has potential, you know, even I'll admit it, like I don't
put him in a new environment.
yeah, I don't like his play. I don't think he's good, but like, but you know, you have to like, front office wise, you're like this asset has potential. You get Dylan Brooks. Yeah, I think it's you know they got the best. Like that's the best offer. But yeah, that being said, the fact that I mean honestly, I would if I was a Suns front like in the Suns front office, my number one priority would be like, can I get that Suns pick back? And the fact that like they didn't get any Suns, like dude, I would have been like, if you know you're offering me everything, I'd be like, no, can I just get the Suns pick back? And
they got one.
That's the thing.
But it wasn't even the Suns pick.
Yeah,
the number two. Oh, that was there. Okay, it was. Okay, but like the future. The future Suns picks back, and you know, getting Malawach, I do think was that was best case scenario in my opinion.
He was
in
a
the
guy
draft.
I wanted if they kept.
And I love Malawach. We didn't deep dive on the draft, especially how quickly it was after the finals. Sorber and Malawach were my guys.
I love Malawach.
Yeah, those were like my guys for the draft. Obviously, I also like the big names and everything. I like Knipple and all that too, but he went too high for him to be a my guy. I feel like a my guy is like a sleeper or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Malawach is going to be good. I also surprisingly I'm against the opinion that you can have too many centers right now because I do think when you get them, they're very valuable. We saw Chet and Miles Turner really mean a fuck in the finals. We saw that how much it meant to have Cat truly, and I think it really means a lot to have a good big man. So, you know, taking a flyer on Mark Williams, a 2029 first, yes, that I think the Suns are insane for that they keep trading first. At the same time, I think Mark Williams is good. And if Malawach hits the way I think he can, having a stable big man who I think this in my opinion on him, I don't think he's going to be a bust. I think he's too strong. I think he's too competent as a player, but I think the floor on him is like a Miles Turner like defensive presence where like it's you know, and you may be like that's not great, but it's also like that's worth a lot. Yeah. And then the ceiling on him is like Rudy Gobert with a little bit more offense. Yeah,
he could catch the ball.
Yeah, with a little bit more offense. So I think that's worth everything. Having a guy like that on your team moving forward.
Especially when you need the offensive rebound.
It's like
Green shoots 30
as fucked as the Suns are. I think they really came out this offseason. I'm just like okay, like you were working with nothing. I feel like there's something happening.
Now they're talking about getting rid of. They're about giving Bill that buyout option too.
It's just a weird.
That's what happens with teams though, when they put all their eggs in one basket.
Well, do you know what's funny? The Suns are like, say Michael, you and me, like with zero training, we won like a sweepstakes to run the Suns for like 2 years or whatever. That's like if you and me were running the Suns. They're just like, oh, let's make like two dudes off the streets just being like, oh fuck it, whatever. And then now it's happening. I feel like now they're in like a recovery mode. I do. It's so funny because Ishby was like, oh, I need to step up all this shit. Like it's just a disaster. I do think they're making a little bit of smarter moves. Yeah. I am pro the Mark Williams trade.
I don't hate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Now 2029 draft pick might mean something, but yeah. I know we went off the rails, but you want to talk about the Rockets a little bit more, just because there were a couple more moves that I want to get into by then. Before I get into my offseason winners.
Yeah, we also just happened today. We just traded Cam Whitmore.
Yeah.
Which kind of just for the better for him.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it really was. 2 seconds, like nothing, but might just be used for just throw in for another move. Yeah. And then re-signed one of my favorites from the older Rockets teams, the James Harden era, Clint Capella. I love Clint Capella. It was a little like a head scratcher at first.
He's going to be a really good backup center to lead that second squad for you guys.
And then also
or the third squad.
Third squad. But honestly,
it's still going to be good.
You know how much I love you guys' 2 big man lineup. for games, I think that's what Clint Capella is meant for. Is like when you guys do that two big man lineup, and then now you don't have a backup technically. You have Clint Capella now, so Şengün can get some rest. Adams can get some rest, because I do think it really does put the foot on the necks of some opponents. Like I know it didn't happen this time, but but like the Warriors and stuff like that, like. Smaller teams.
That was that was like the biggest. That was our best lineup. Too. It was at the double big, and now you have.
And I think Capella. The big problem with that is that you're running both of your centers on the court at the same time. You don't have a backup center at that point. So I do think Capella. Being a backup, I think you
just had Jock Landale now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you have a third string in Capella normally, but then when you do run that double big man lineup, Capella is useful. So that's good.
And now you don't have to play Steven Adams on back-to-backs anymore.
I forgot you guys still have Steven Adams.
Yeah, he's been huge. Yeah.
So
he's been big.
Yeah,
he's been good for you guys.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and then is that it with the Rockets or my blanket?
Yeah, I think that is. I mean, just talking about the Jabari Smith contract that I've come around on a little bit since I texted you. I was like,
I think it's more of an getting him early.
Yeah, getting it done early. You're betting on him being better than the contract, and then also you can just do it on your books now. I'm really just confused on Jabari Smith now. Personally, I don't know what he is. He can't create. My thing. I remember. I think you and me in February were doing trade deadline stuff, but like, okay, like should he lead a team? If I'm a team that needs to start over, can I just take a flyer on Jabari Smith? I did like that, and now it's just like, obviously, I think this is the make or break year. I do think if this is the make or break year and it does break, his trade value's completely tanked to what it was. But that's the risk you take when you have like a championship team. He can be a great small ball for a championship team like this. I think his role is carved out right now as kind of like Diet Durant this year.
Spot up.
So and that's gonna be fun to see. But
in the playoffs, he was very he was good at that, where he would he'd come and get like 8 rebounds a game, and then just would sit in the corner. And just hope for the ball. And that's the thing. I don't like that for him. I think he's worth so much more than that. But his issue is that he can't do that. Like himself. Like I've watched him dribble the ball. Every time he puts the ball on the floor, I get scared.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why me personally, I was always rooting for you guys to trade him somewhere so he could start off like somewhere. But it's gonna be interesting seeing him play in some big games this year. I think that'll be good for him overall. And then, after this year, it's kind of like, now that he's on, for what I think he can be, he's on a good contract. For what he might be on a really bad contract. I do think it's just a crazy variance move that now I'm just like, okay, I kind of see it.
It comes with that confusion that you were talking about, because we don't know what he is yet. So, that's where the contract between that is like, we don't know what he is. So it is kind of like a toss up right now.
What is he getting paid per year right now? Is it like 24 per year?
Before the extension or after?
This extension, what is it paying him per year?
24.
Yeah, see, and it's so funny. It's like, and then I'm jumping ahead, but like it's like that's like the Dame deal, which is hilarious. It's like imagine signing Jabari Smith and not having Jabari Smith for all that time. That's the Dame deal basically of the stretch. But anyway, I'm gonna get into my offseason winners this year. I have the Denver Nuggets. Huge moves. Pending one. We'll talk about that. But starting off, I think the best deal of the year right now is the getting off the Michael Porter Jr. contract, getting Cam Johnson, and trading a pick that shouldn't mean anything to you right now. Like Jokic will be 37. He might not even be playing by then. But also like, you're not gonna get another Jokic ever again probably. So how about this? Let's just like mortgage. Let's mortgage the future. We're the Denver Nuggets. Like let's just go. I love finally that they got some assets. Calvin Booth is like, if I was a general manager, that's what my philosophy would be. Is like, okay, like let's prepare for the future. Let's figure it out. It just didn't work out. Now, pending Peyton Watson and Strother might have a bigger role this year. I think you hit on Christian Brown, honestly.
Yeah.
But you had to get some proven guys. I think Cam Johnson is... Cam Johnson is slightly, maybe slightly worse than Porter.
He's better.
Yeah, he could be better, like, in some aspects.
For the value,
yeah,
he's better.
Definitely more consistent. And then also half the price, literally half the price. So they were able to grab. So pending Jonas Valanciunas might go to Greece, which I just don't understand at all. I don't understand at all, man, because he might just he might just win a championship as a backup potentially. I know you're like, it's not guaranteed, but I just don't understand.
What's the contract they're giving him?
It's just the contract he signed with the Kings already. So it's like, it's not even like.
Oh, it was contract.
Yeah.
I would say, because if he's getting more money in Greece.
I did see though that the Nuggets are going through with this trade when it comes official tomorrow. So they don't care that if.
Oh,
They
wow.
might leave.
If he leaves or not.
Yeah.
I think, if it's for more money overseas, it's probably what he's doing.
I doubt it. I fucking.
See, that's my thing is like, dude, he's
he's making $10 million right now. A year.
Okay, like he would be.
3 years.
I mean, he's the perfect Jokic backup because it's just like, oh shit, everything doesn't have to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pending on that, because if that move does go through, like I'm just like A++, no notes off season.
He signed through 26, 27.
Okay, it's like that, but I just think that would be perfect. I love getting Tim Hardaway Jr. He's someone who has no fear in big moments, truly, for better or for worse. But yeah, and then. The big one, Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown's a big one.
I
think a minimum, right?
Yeah, for the minimum. And like that was just like the icing on top, dude. Because I do think, Bruce Brown is the cautionary tale of why Michael Porter Jr. might be horrible at Brooklyn. Because like Bruce Brown, we've seen that Jokic elevates people. We've seen it with KCP also. So Bruce Brown just coming back and then I think he might just pick up where he left off personally. Just the way that,
I don't understand why they got rid of him in the first place, because he
money.
money,
but now that you get him on the minimum, like the Pacers signed him. Pacers came and absolutely stole him, and then ended up, he was part of the Siakam trade. That's he was kind of like a trade chip almost.
Yeah.
But, the Nuggets truly could not afford that at the time. I think if you had to spend money, it probably should have been on the, Bruce Brown, deal, and then
it was him and KCP that they were fighting for, I think, right?
Yeah, and then they just kept neither.
Yeah.
Very odd, but now later, I think it all is gonna work out. I'm glad that you didn't have to shred Jamal Murray. Didn't have to shed him off. I think maybe he probably did have more value than Porter, obviously, but I want to keep him with Jokic. His ceiling is so much higher than Porter's. Porter was a disaster this year. And now that you shedded his contract, got Cam Johnson back, who fits with this team more? I think that's the thing. It's like, okay, throw Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. on the Nets. I think Michael Porter Jr. is probably better on the Nets. Mm-hmm. But Cam Johnson fits this team so much better.
He's better fit to play structured basketball.
Yes, and I think this is going to... not that good on defense, but... No one is on the Nuggets besides, I guess, Valanciunas now. He might be their best defender if he plays.
Him or Christian Brown.
Yeah, Christian Brown. And
I should have Strother.
Yeah, Strother. And I do think there might be some Strother potential this year. I think Watson, I wouldn't give up on this year. I think if one of those dudes does better this year, I think you just have a deep team, which that's all Jokic needed is a deep team. They were playing 6 guys literally at the end. So yeah, I love their offseason. I love who they got, what they got it for. They're my early finals pick.
I can't disagree with
which
that.
Not very ballsy picking the best player in the world to win the finals, but
they could have got.
I'm right with my team, but I understand it.
Yours has got a good run for it.
Do you think you guys beat the Thunder?
I think there's a better chance than a lot of people think. Because last year we won 2 out of the 5. I don't want to play them 5 times, but 2 out of the 5. And one of those games we beat the shit out of them. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of.
I'm just saying this one now.
That team is so fucking good though. And now you had KD.
Yeah, with KD now, who's guarding him?
Jalen Williams.
I think that's gonna be
Chet. So
barbecue chicken.
So man, you're like our perk. He's like our perk. That's good. I like this.
Yeah.
Big Mike Any other teams you want to talk about? I know I have some teams I want to talk about just with off-season moves. I do want to talk about right now the Pelicans move in the draft. Is just, the Pelicans are just insane. And we're back. That's the Sacramento guy, right?
No, I played for the Spurs.
Oh, who's that one guy that got hurt for Sacramento last year? What the fuck was his name? Devin Carter.
Yeah. That's who the fucking Warriors. The Kings offered Devin Carter for Kuminga.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
My brother sent me a screenshot. I said, "Fuck this." I said, yeah, exactly. But anyway.
Where was I? Oh, I was talking about the Pelicans. That Jordan Poole move is hilarious because he was better this year. He is not a winning basketball player in my opinion.
He's won it before.
Yeah,
he was a big piece of that Warriors.
He was, but like also, he was a big
option.
piece of the. He was like the fourth option, honestly. Like, it's so funny. Like now, so okay.
I think he was also in a losing culture of basketball too, though.
Yeah, with the Wizards, yes, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Gotta give the man a chance. I think Jordan Poole is actually pretty. I think he's not. I would say I like,
especially when bitch is on the sideline. Sorry, but
he does be playing for the bitches.
He do.
Like OG and City. He
Ooh, bad bitch.
We derailed in the last 10 seconds.
Sorry. And then anyway, so the Pelicans traded that first round pick to jump up and get what's his name? Why am I blanking? The Patrick. I'm blanking. So
fuck.
Why am I blanking?
I know it too.
Anyway, the one fat chunky power forward who might end up being good because he's not that bad.
You said Patrick Queen? It's Derek Queen.
Derek Queen, sorry. Patrick Starr, sorry. Derek Queen, who I think might be good. I think there's potential with Fears also, even though he's like...
That's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, I think there's potential with Fears. The thing is, you traded that pick, and you are betting... This is all you're betting on. You're betting on a healthy Zion season. You're betting Derek Queen is good out the gate. You're betting Jeremiah Fears is good out the gate. You're betting Jordan Poole plays winning basketball, which you guys like that bet more than I. You're betting on all... You're betting DeJounte Murray comes back of the next season from a little bit older.
Trey Murphy as well.
Trey Murphy. Yeah.
Herb Jones potentially might even get traded.
Yeah.
Where he's
yeah.
at.
So back from a,
you're making 6 bets. I say if 2 of those 6 bets don't if you don't win on 2 of those 6 bets, that's a lottery pick that you just traded. Yeah. I hate the trade. I think it's hilarious. Did you hear that the Hawks front office called back and they're like, "Hey, are you sure?" Like, apparently they're like, "Wait, is this for real?" After
I would do that too because it's like you just
no protections, no protections.
It's gotta be like how Rob Pelinka felt when he kind of like
are you sure? Yeah. They called back, which is like I would be scared to do. I'd be scared to be like, "Hey, like, are you sure?" But like, and then like then they like let their senses take over.
If you get a call back saying, "Are you sure?" You should be like, "Wait."
Yeah. Oh, maybe not. But. The Pelicans are going to be very funny to watch this season, just because like we might get 20 good Zion games, then we're like, hey, watch out, and then we'll get one good Jordan Poole magnet ball game. It's going to be very, very funny to watch.
It'll be a funny season, yeah.
Another off season that I was head scratching, obvious, and I now have to talk about. So Halliburton was my first. Least favorite sportsman of all time. Probably my 5th or 6th is Miles Turner leaving the Pacers. But we'll talk about the Bucks side of things. Stretch Dame for 5 years. So basically they have a $20 million contract for nobody for the next 5 years. I know that projects to look better over 5 years, but this year, next year, and the year after, I can guarantee it's not going to look good.
The way I'm essentially
it's going to look ugly.
The way I'm essentially looking at it is you're paying Miles Turner $50 a year.
Yeah. Basically, you're paying an extra Miles Turner money Miles Turner isn't seeing.
They're so desperate. Funny. I think what the Bucks is trying to do though too is. Bucks is just trying to keep Giannis. And
that's what I said, too.
Yeah, they're trying to keep Giannis because they want to... Giannis wants to win a chip. And, like, if he's not going to be able to win a chip with Bucks, he's going to leave. So they got Miles Turner to see if that will help with him. And
they retain some of their other guys.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And then this is my fear. Someone...
And Dame's with the Achilles injury, and that's going to take a whole year to, recover from. So they're like, we might as well just take our L's and... pick him up.
Here's my fear with the Turner so as someone who watched Turner and loved Turner for 10 years, Turner, obviously, it's no coincidence how his play elevated when he had Halliburton playing with him. He skyrocketed. I think on the Pacers side, the Pacers saw that. And this is just me. This could be a little bit of cope from me, but I think the Pacers saw that and they're like, okay, he's not going to be worth what we're going to have to pay him because Halliburton we could find Diet Turner and maybe he'll play just as good.
He's not going to play the same style as he did with Halliburton because
for some odd reason, I think he won't be as good with Kevin Porter Jr. Than Halliburton.
No, he's the best creator on offense.
I was about to say, and that's the thing was creating space with Halliburton. That's why I said with Halliburton and with the Pacers, man, he created space with everything.
If you had
pass the ball up, everything.
If you had an extremely cynical view on this trade, you're basically being like, so the Bucks just paid double for a slightly better Brook Lopez.
He's the same player.
When they had Brook Lopez,
he's
the same player. He's
a little more athletic.
A little bit more athletic. In the playoffs, he shot pretty poorly towards the end, but he has proven to go on hot streaks as a shooter. It will be very.
If you need him to be on a hot streak, I'll just go to the fucking. Every time I watch him in live, he fucking goes off.
A little bit.
Weird.
He's a little bit less of a traffic cone on defense right now.
Brook Lopez is 37.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So because he's younger, so it will be interesting to see him play with Giannis. Heartbroken as a Pacers fan, just absolutely heartbroken because it basically just we waved the white flag on the year. We basically just said, hey, that magical run that you watched for 3 months, it's all over, and now you're gonna have to take a year, and also we just quit, we're done. There's no
find a way to address center. For the next real season.
Because the Pacers with Halliburton now, your best literally your best space creator, your best passer. Is out for the whole season.
So we're not
the best facilitator in the league that's really starting the offense is out. So there's no point of
not paying the tax, and then we're like, okay, it's going to be an evaluation year of see if Mathurin can lead a team as the number one scorer.
We'll also see TJ McConnell. We'll see how he does too. I'm just saying that's who y'all gonna.
And the thing about Siakam, I love Siakam. I think he's the perfect second man. Siakam-led teams every year are in the play-in or out, it's
the rack.
And that's what he's not. He's not supposed to be the number one player, number one option on a team. Now he is, and we're gonna see if Mathurin can really score. I think that's one of the positives of Turner leaving. It's just okay, we keep Mathurin now.
Is Mathurin gonna be Jalen Green, or is he gonna be?
Is he gonna how efficient is he? Because we saw how he fit with. We saw how he fit with this perfect Pacers team. Let's see how he fits with the worst case scenario Pacers team. I think Nembhard, obviously, we have him on a good contract. It's just going to be evaluate. Let's see if Isaiah Jackson has anything. I think we're bringing back James Wiseman, which is going to be kind of funny to watch.
Was it ACL?
Achilles. We had three guys have Achilles tears.
What happened this
year?
year?
I have no idea. It's like the oblique shit with the Magic.
A Mets pitcher tore his Achilles fucking last week.
Yeah. Dude, we're about to tear our Achilles tonight, partying probably. And then Bucks. Crazy offseason, mortgaged everything. That being said, if I was a team that had Giannis and I was the Milwaukee Bucks, the last time we had a player this caliber was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So you kind of throw all the chips in. I don't get it. At the same time, I do get it. You just throw on the chips on your local hero. Another this is the offseason winner I want to get into. I think barring. I have two more winners. I think the Cavs not freaking out.
I had a loser too.
We can get you next, baby. But the Cavs not making any panic trades, I personally love. I think they were.
The one trade they did make.
Me too.
I love the Lonzo trade. Yeah, the Lonzo trade was pretty good.
Yeah, I do think.
Ty Jerome was kind of like
but not at not at the price that he went for.
Yeah, I think for them it was we didn't know what his market would be.
Yeah.
Because he did play like shit in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you kind of get the Grizzlies were more desperate for him than what the Cavs are. The Grizzlies he gets more benefit for the Grizzlies than he does for the Cavs.
For sure.
And you also just made a supplemental move with getting Lonzo for an injury-prone wing.
No, yeah.
So I feel like it's just
I love it.
You fixed the problem that was gone for a day.
Not trading Garland. Obviously, you're not trading Mitchell or Jarrett Allen, and then obviously Mobley. I think
Or DeAndre
if we
Hunter,
get a
I guess.
100, I do think the Pacers still win that series. I think you run into a buzzsaw. The Pacers that won't be there next year.
No.
But I think they're my favorites out of the East, just because. Man, if you get a full Garland, it's a different series at least. It goes 7 probably. Like, I think that not freaking out and just staying pat and just being like, okay, like we had a weird season. Yes, we kind of have a habit of collapsing in the playoffs, but let's see it this year in a very weak East, where our biggest threat.
Injuries.
Our biggest threat right now looks to be the Knicks, and it's just
and
like
they also collapse in the playoffs.
Yeah, they collapse. So like,
but let's do the injuries.
Yeah.
Not this year.
Not this year. Yeah.
Not this year. Yeah.
I think this year is just like if you ran to the Pacers, unless your name is the Thunder, you're gonna fall apart. Truly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
it's
Cat gets his act together defensively, which he won't. So.
And then my other winners of the offseason is the Hawks. I've dual winners is the Hawks and the Magic. Yeah. Both basically being like, okay, the East is open. Bet, like, let's step up.
We're actually gonna step up.
So the Max, I was about to say the Mox, yeah, the Magic, taking a risk on Desmond Bane, who's from our hometown, but throw that in there, but yeah, trading, what is it? I think, in my opinion, 3 firsts, and then they also traded a first to get off the KCP contract. I think because like that was a huge mistake, that KCP contract. I think you throw that in, and the Grizzlies are like, all right, fine, we'll take this washed player who costs too much. But you get finally a scorer, which that team just they don't have scorers. Like truly, they have a great creator in Paolo.
You guys got Jay Huff.
Pacers did?
Yeah, you sent Jay Huff.
Woo!
We'll take him.
Woo! That's hilarious.
I just saw it on Reel. Sorry.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Dude, we're back. He's
big issue solved.
Yeah, he's all right. That's
center rotation. I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
It's gonna be horrendous.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Imagine he's the answer though.
Just turns into fucking Porzingis.
Miles, he's Diet Miles. But no, I really like. I think the Magic, if everyone stays healthy, and I really like Paolo. I really like. Now Franz doesn't. We're like, will Franz ever hit a 3? I think the answer might be no, but now he doesn't have to because Dez hits so many threes. And then also the sneaky perfect move was the Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
Getting another facilitator. As much as I think Anthony Black is going to be good, the fact that you don't have to count on him in the playoffs, and you could also have him play side with Jones on that second unit. I think the Magic are fine. Like also deep as hell now too. They just re-signed Wagner as well. Like Mo Wagner. Yeah. I think they're just going to be very deep, and
they got Wendell Carter too.
I might be out on him, but
he's high.
But I think the Magic are deep. They're a team that stepped up. And they're like, okay, Cavs and Knicks, I'll play with you guys. And the other team that stepped up was the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm planting my flag right now. I am not a Trey guy whatsoever. I hate the way he plays. I do think he got better this year at certain things, like his pick and roll. His defense did improve this year.
Why are you a Trey hater?
He fucking sucks at basketball, in my opinion. He does not play winning basketball.
Christ.
He's if Jordan Poole was glorified. He's glorified Jordan Poole. Anyway, that being said,
I would say on the squad he's on too.
That being said, I love Jalen Johnson. I love Porzingis for them, because he's just a flyer. Like you can shed his contract next year. He's very get offable. So let's see. I think he might have caught cooties. Cooties or AIDS, and then which is kind of like life. It's like
cooties is AIDS.
We either get cooties or we either get AIDS. That's our two choices. If you're a man in your 20s, you get cooties or AIDS.
Yeah. You gotta pick one,
Sam, AIDS, me, cooties.
Abstinence.
Yeah, abstinence. Michael, abstinence. So we just, that's just kind of like what you choose in life. But I love them getting Nah, who I think is I think that's a good contract. The Timberwolves couldn't keep him.
I'm weird on why he took a non-starter spot.
Yeah, really weird. I think. I mean, truly, I think. The Wolves got priced out. Like
good for them. I'm not saying the Hawks.
Yeah,
I'm saying for him,
sure.
why didn't you go for a team that you'd start on?
I think I think the options got limited because the Wolves truly couldn't afford him, at all. I think,
Rockets were in on
and I
him,
like what the
San
Wolves
Diego
did this
so-
offseason. I think you get Nas at a reasonable price, and I think you get Randall at a reasonable price as well.
Yeah.
But that being said, there was just no spot. So you're just hoping that Dillingham can turn into Nah, which I don't like the bet, but either way. But that being said, I think having their center Okongwu and then Gay's really good.
Mo Gay.
Yeah, Mo Gay's good. And then Porzingis, I think they're so deep. I think Jalen Johnson is the best player on this team. I'll say that.
All right.
Yeah, in my opinion. And then I think I think Dyson Daniels is better than Trey. I told you earlier if I'm in the Hawks front office and I don't have a front office job, so this might be why I don't have a front office job. I'm trading Trey right now. I'm and I'm giving this team to Jalen Johnson. Mike, talk about your loser that you had.
That is a tough
My
take.
big loser was so far it's the Warriors.
Mm.
The Warriors, I have firsthand of complaining from my brother.
Yeah.
They've done fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Literally zero. They're waiting on the decision of Al Horford, which is kind of a shitty person to fucking wait for.
Yeah.
But then you've also got the whole Kuminga issue right now.
Yeah.
Is he
Very
coming
weird.
back?
Which they haven't resolved really at all this year because it's been an ongoing issue
And
since the start of the season.
The team he fits with the least is the Warriors. He fits more with literally everyone
Everyone
else.
else.
Well, they're
But the
trying to. They're
Warriors-
in it's like the Cam Whitmore issues. Like, do
Yeah.
we trade him? Do
Yeah.
we keep him?
Yeah.
He's asking for too much because he wants to be apparently he wants to be like a top 3 option, which obviously on the Warriors he's not going to
Yeah.
be. And all the teams that he will be,
Which is funny because I've watched him and I've watched him play bad, but also I'm like, yeah, there might be something here.
Well, hold up.
Like
Who
when you
else on
watch
the
him.
Warriors is cooking like that? Because you got Steph, Dre.
Well, for $30 million, he's not getting that. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He's not going to fit for $30 million.
That is,
That's all that's
I get unless he takes a pay cut. You
His
got
top
fine.
3 option teams are like the Nets. He's not going to be on a good team.
Yeah, and I think the Nets just signed expensive Kuminga with Porter Jr. So
Less athletic upside. But
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's I think they're
Way
like
worse
they're
defender.
calling Coward like, we're good, bro. You can leave.
Well,
We still like you. You
Yeah.
can leave though.
The only teams I can see swinging on him are the Kings, but because they just stay in fucking purgatory. They don't do anything.
Yeah, and why not? I think a good trade would probably be Devin Carter. I'm playing.
Malik Monk's probably the real target.
Yeah,
for the
so
Warriors
dude,
there.
it's just so weird. Yeah, the Kings. We should do since when we get into the slow time of right before football season, we should do a Kings
right now.
what if deep dive.
Yeah.
No, it's so free to see to talk about in the draft, but I feel like after we should do a what if deep dive of everything that just happened. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, I just it's been weird. They've kind of just done nothing. Like I said, it's just been
And they're wasting years with Curry right
You've
now.
got-
While he's still nice.
Yeah, you've got the best 3-point shooter of all time, possibly the best point guard of all time as well. I'm not going to go there, but and then you traded for Jimmy Butler, made the big swing in the middle of the season last year, and you became I'm pretty sure they were the best team in the league
For a little bit, yeah,
for having him.
I think
They
with
beat the Nuggets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think with that though, maybe that's why they haven't really made nothing though, because they got Jimmy, and
he did handicap
Yeah,
him a
I
little bit
think.
with the money.
Yeah, I'm about to say you guys with someone that's an addition like that they made kind of mid season, kind of late mid season. That's gonna take time. It's gonna take time for them to kind of mesh.
Mm-hmm.
They meshed really well in the playoffs. It just wasn't. It didn't go out how expected because
Steph's injured.
Yeah, Steph's injured. Jimmy, that's what they was.
I think they
expecting Jimmy
still
to
lose
do.
the Wolves.
I do too.
But I agree with you. That's one thing I actually didn't think about Bo is because I watched it firsthand with Siakam. Siakam still we went to the conference finals, but he took a minute to truly us truly to see the ceiling on that. I feel like we probably haven't seen the ceiling on Jimmy at the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So you're betting on that for a year. But I agree with you about them being losers.
Yeah. I think that's what they're going to be kind of expecting on this upcoming season with Jimmy is when Steph is down or there's days where Steph is going to sit, they're going to be looking at Jimmy as that number one guy to come up from the number 2 spot.
Which you didn't do as
Yeah,
much,
that's exactly. But I
You
feel like
didn't get Heat Jimmy. You got
exactly. I feel like that's just because I don't know. Maybe there was a fluke. Something happened who knows? But like, I'm pretty sure that Warriors gonna be hoping for that next season because that's the biggest move they made this last season.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens. But you know, it's the only time to tell. And
they also lost Kevon Looney.
Yeah, they got
Which that's another one that I was like, it's kind of like the Miles Turner, obviously to a lesser scale, but like it was a while. That was a weird one for me.
Yeah, low key and very important to that team.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Mike?
I'm trying to. I think
because I have one thing I want to get into before we go. I think a sneaky huge move is I was not a fan of the Knicks shedding Tibbs because I thought there weren't that many options out there. I think Mike Brown might be their best option. I really like Brown, and now that they got Clarkson, signaling that they're going to play their backups. They're like the one thing also that they really just ran into with the Pacers is like they just had underdeveloped bench guys. And it's just like, man, I do think the series probably is different if you have Clarkson, if you have dudes off the bench. Yabusele, who I'm low-key a fan of. I love Yabusele.
Yeah,
I think him being diet cat out there on the second unit means a lot, man.
Yeah.
One thing, I fucking hate the way Cat plays. He's one of my least favorite players to watch. I think he is like a chill guy, but I think just watching him play, I fucking hate the way he plays. I hate having my team play against him. Yeah. Yabusele going, but the thing is, when he was out, the Knicks fell apart against the Pacers. He was their only lifeline. Having like a diet Cat for a little bit means a lot to them.
Yeah, I just don't like Cat's play style, man, because his play style is more like
just elbows.
Yeah, it's like literally outside. It's outside game, and like for someone that's his height, someone that with his structure. Like, bro, you should be able to hook shot, little jump shots here and there.
At least like a post.
Yeah, like some post stuff, though. Like that's
similar play style to Sam and pickup basketball when he
goes. A little bit traditional. Traditional.
Hit him with the dream shake.
Hit with the dream shake. When Sam grabs the rebound, and goes "we out." I'm like, oh, dude, something special is about to happen.
Zion, Russell Westbrook mix.
Yes, dude. Yes, off the court too.
Yeah.
You guys know how to get on the court.
All right, but I had another winner. It's a little like a low key one as well. I liked what the Spurs did a lot, especially in the draft.
Oh yes, for sure. And we're gonna do a draft episode next week, like a more draft focused one. But
I liked they got a robbery at 10 or 14 with Carter Bryant.
Yes, I love him. Huge.
I love Carter Bryant. He actually just made his summer league debut today. He had 7 points, but whatever.
There we go. I mean, what they need him to be is just off the bench, spark guy. I mean, you watched how deep the Pacers were and how many options they had. Carter Bryant reflects that, just being like, oh, this guy's gonna play his ass off on defense and he's gonna hit some threes for us. That's all you need from him.
Yeah, and then they got another nice backup big for Wemby, obviously. Now we got Luke Cornett for $440.
Yeah. Slightly overpay him, but also you have the money now to do that.
Yeah, you have that. They missed that on KD a little bit. Giannis isn't technically available yet.
Yeah.
So you just went out
and honestly, after deep diving, and we'll get into the draft next week a little bit more, I would at all costs keep Harper. The potential of Harper.
I think the one, if they were losing someone, it's Fox.
But I just don't think I don't know. I wouldn't want him back in that trade. I don't know. I like Fox. It's gonna be a weird season of the Spurs.
It is weird. I mean, Harper's probably gonna come off the bench, which is the wild
I
part.
think they're kind of like in a Bears position where we're having a little too much optimism on them. I think they might be one more year away. Yeah. I think a lot of people are like, damn, they're dangerous, and they very well could be. I think this is a loaded conference, and you're betting on, Wemby. He did look like the real deal, but also he's coming off of a missed season, a scary injury, a scary health condition.
Ailment,
I think everyone's a little bit too much optimistic. I still think they're looking at around an 8 seed projection, maybe missing the playoffs again, which would be a disappointment, but also I think it's in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people I get Wemby's generational, but I think there's a lot of teams with some variables that I think actually could, the Mavericks, for example.
Yeah, just
there's the variable. Obviously, you got Cooper Flag now, but you have what does Kyrie look like when he comes back?
Yeah.
They could be a top 5 seed for fucking.
I think that squad's gonna be. That's a team.
That's a team I'm low key scared of.
Yeah, that's a team you got to look out for the playoffs.
Can I give my take on them? I think they're going to be
a buzz.
Horrible to start off the season.
They will be. Probably.
Having D'Angelo, I know, but I don't think you get. I don't think you get to that top 5 seed that we're talking about with how I think they're going to start. AD could go down with an injury to start off, and then also him being a number one option is like, there's not a great team around him right now. D'Angelo Russell is going to be your starting point guard. D'Angelo Russell is fucking awful. Like, Cooper Flagg is like, yes, I think he's a great prospect. We saw Wemby his first season. Like, there's ups and downs. I'm like, oh, he's not ready yet. Yeah, dude, Cooper Flagg's not going to be ready the first 45 games. He's not going to have... Like, LeBron James sucked his first year. Like, I have no idea why everyone's like...
Sucks a stretch.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, he wasn't a winning player. Almost no rookie is a winning player straight out. They're being like, yeah, so he's going to be point forward starting. Like, no one is. Wemby wasn't a winning player. LeBron wasn't a winning player. Their first 45 games. You know, like, if we were to compare this to, like, 2K ratings, your first 45 games, you just have to be a 75 overall, just regardless of who you are. And so it's just like, they're betting on...
Where's the great white hope?
I think the Mavs are going to be surprisingly bad this year, which is, like, I think it's odd that, like, we've talked ourselves into them so much. Hey, planting my flag now, Mavs are going to suck.
Me personally, I think they're going to be... I feel like they're going to... I see what you're saying, because, Kyrie is going to be out still, and you do got to put your trust in D'Angelo Russell. Like, it's I get that. Yeah. But you also, I think they still got Daniel Gafford. They still got AD.
I agree. They're deep.
Yeah, they still got deep players. And,
Washington's good.
Yeah, Washington, And I do understand what you're saying about Cooper, but I feel like you're right with the rookies. The rookies usually take around, like, generational rookies usually take around 45 games. Sometimes a year.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Mostly a year.
Mostly a year. We will see. I do hope to see, and I think we will see that. We will see, like, small spurts, like any other rookie, like, obviously, like, Luka in his first year. Players like that, you see these little outspurts they got, like, maybe they go off for 25, 30. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that. I think they are going to start out kind of a little shaky, but I feel like they are going to make some type of run in the playoffs. Now, are they a finals contender team?
No.
I don't know about that yet.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, honestly.
I think they might be, maybe if they stay healthy and when Kyrie comes back, they might be a play-in team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I honestly, like, say, like, and, like, this is like the NBA season's weird. You never know. Say like the Grizzlies are just back after like say Morant does finally play really good for a whole season. Jaren Jackson I think is their best player. He played like they signed him that extension. And then Ty Jerome kind of like just gets back to form. I like them better than the Mavericks. Like truly, I just think it's a weird situation.
It's a weird spot right now.
I think there's less variables with the Grizzlies than there are with them. The Mavericks, so
hell no. John Morant could murder someone tomorrow.
Well, you're missing Kyrie for half the season, and AD is also like the biggest variable in the sport. So
that's always the biggest variable. If you have AD, man, is he gonna be able to stay healthy all the way to the
but
playoffs?
Defense first, right?
Defense first.
Yeah, but hey.
Anyway, before we get out of here, real quick, draft video next week. Real quick from each of you.
Malik Beasley.
Oh yeah, that's what. Oh dude, I forgot about Malik Beasley. Yes, dude, I've been wanting to talk about this forever. Let me do the tagline on this because I think this is ISO Jack real quick. I'll have the ball. You guys can get involved in a second. I got the ball right now. Just sit in the corner. I'll pass you guys in a second. This potentially. What? It ain't your ball. It ain't your ball. It's my ball right now. This is. I don't think we're treating this as big as of a deal it is. This is the future of the league with betting and all this shit, and the league needs to get ahead of this right now. We are witnessing someone who owed a lot of people a lot of money, which is, first of all, hilarious that he owes the barbershop and the dentist that much money. Dude, you are a millionaire.
He's made $60 million.
You've made $60 million. How the fuck are you broke, man?
And he was on cue for a fucking 40, like what? 40
he was about to, and I think, like that being said, like if, he signs that contract this year, I think he, like all these problems, get close to going away. I think he probably was going to pay everyone back and now he's fucked out of the league and shit. Yeah.
Bleezy, you're gonna have to get in with like a guy and like J.R. Smith that have these same issues, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna need it because this is looking bad, Fred. Like this is looking bad.
But
yeah, you're gonna have to give
Jonte Porter was one thing. They looked into Terry Rozier and they're like, okay, he just sucks at basketball now, which is chill. This is like. At first I'm always my first reason is like, okay, like my first thing is always like, this probably isn't true with this. Looking back at his logs, he 100% was committing fraud, because you take his financial situations, you watch him busting his ass in the last 1 minute to get the spread on a game during the bubble. It is fucking hilarious.
Drop the ball against the Knicks,
which like I don't think that was a part of it, but now you are leaving the league to be in a situation like this where I'm like, damn, if you're like a Pistons fan, it's like, oh, did our player just lose the game on purpose? You can't afford that. Yeah. Dude, in the middle of my rant, the camera went off, but I'm gonna pick this up like I never lost the ball, like Malik Beasley did in the last seconds of the game. Anyway, you're subjecting yourself to where in the playoffs, like that Malik Beasley play where he dropped the ball, and you're just like a Pistons fan if you're like, dude, did one of our best players just lose the game for us on purpose? Which
pusher in the league.
Yes, yeah, and he towards the end he kind of like hit like 7 threes, so I don't think he was like trying to lose the game on purpose, but the NBA can't afford to have something like that. Okay, we're in a spot where you're already just being like, you have Scott Foster. People are like, oh, Scott Foster won the series for the Thunder. As stupid as like whatever you say about it.
I fucking hate it.
There's already reasons that people have distrust in the league, and then having this, there needs to be a zero tolerance policy across all sports, because
I think there is. These guys just don't care.
Yeah, no, and I agree, but I think this needs to be like one thing that I saw on I saw a clip from the Bomani Jones podcast, and I actually think this is a really good idea. Teams need to do credit checks on players now. You need to be like if you owe people money, you should not be on my team, because that's what the NBA needs to start doing. Like, you need to start doing a credit check. Treat this like an actual job. If you owe people this many people money, if you are this in need of money, you need to not play in the NBA. You need to sign a foreign deal. Just because like it is high time that you need to get in front of this problem. The day that and this is across all sports, like the day that we find out the quarterback has an under on a receiver's yards, the integrity is ruined. The day that we find out someone as important as Malik Beasley has the under on his points, or the NBA is ruined.
Or when that ref had the Celtic fan ref was playing.
Yes. Shit like that is like so, because integrity means so much to the fan. Integrity means so much to the fans. That it's just mind blowing that this was allowed to happen. Absolutely. And then sports entertainment. The entertainment side is the realism of it. If this can't turn into WWE, like we don't have any room for that. So, do better NBA, do better Malik Beasley.
This is not acting,
man.
It's also funny with the timing, because a pitcher in the MLB got busted for the same thing like a few days ago.
Really?
And there's videos of him. It's like there's these bets where you can take like first pitch strike of an inning or whatever, and or like your own strikeouts, because he's a starting pitcher, so you can like kind of do that with them. And he struck out some dude, and you can see him audibly yell "fuck" in the camera, in his glove, and it's like, or there's like one where it's like he's first pitch of an inning, he'll just completely throw the ball like 6 inches out of the strike zone, and it's like it's blatant.
Yeah,
I think this is something. I agree with you, Jake. Like, honestly, already people that watches NBA, any national sports league, anyone that watches any national sports league, when something happens in a certain situation in a game, you're like, oh, this is like script made. Like that's already going on.
Ref had his under.
Yeah.
Commissioner Adam Silver, you need to get on this. People are already thinking that this is rote. This is why we're losing ratings. This is why you need to get on it now.
Fuck the ratings. I don't give a shit about ratings.
Nah, we give a shit about the ratings, because sooner or later we're gonna end up broke.
I just want good ball. I don't care about ratings.
I agree with that too.
We need to get on it, man. This is looking terrible. This is worse than the Tom Brady deflated ball situation.
Very last thing before we head out. Bo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for you guys having me.
Thank you.
From each of you, a year early finals predictions for next year. I'll start. Nuggets, Cavs.
That's a good one.
That's who I think.
Call me biased.
Uh-huh.
Rockets, Knicks.
Okay.
What's Jason Tatum down for?
A whole year.
Fuck.
Achilles.
Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say Boston.
Man, Achilles were popping left and right, bro.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Honestly, give me Cavs versus what's their name?
Man,
Cavs.
really good showing.
Yeah,
Really good
sorry.
debut.
Give me a Cavs versus OKC.
Okay.
Sorry.
There we go.
I had to think about it. Sorry.
Well, that being said, okay, see you later, everyone. I'm sorry. Preview for next week, NBA draft recap, Ace Bailey situation recap. Probably talk a little MLB, talk a little Mets, big things coming. Yeah, what we say every time. All right, goodbye, everyone.
Have a good day.
Have a good one.
Woo.
Bye.